Center for AI Safety, is Geoffrey Hinton, considered one of the three godfathers of AI. He recently quit Google so he could speak freely about the dangers of the technology he helped build, such as artificial general intelligence, or AGI, in which machines could develop cognitive abilities akin or superior to humans sooner than previously thought.
I'd always assumed that the brain was better than the computer models we had. And I'd always assumed that by making the computer models more like the brain, we would improve them. And my epiphany was, a couple of months ago,
intelligence, or AGI, in which machines could develop cognitive abilities akin or superior to humans sooner than previously thought.
I'd always assumed that the brain was better than the computer models we had. And I'd always assumed that by making the computer models more like the brain, we would improve them. And my epiphany was, a couple of months ago, I suddenly realized that maybe the computer models we have now are actually better than the brain. And if that's the case, then maybe quite soon they'll be better than us. So that the idea...
Isaiah 14:13, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt thy throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Bahashem, we're called Kadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing his word throughout the four corners of the planet. All right, and shalom to the elect. All right, and just going into Esau. All right, and him, pretty much exalting himself, all right, or, bragging that he's pretty much better than the Lord, all right, that he's better than, Yahweh, all right, and, at first glance, all right, you could take this and you could say, well, okay, they created AI, okay, what's the deal? But if you're looking at it in a spiritual sense, all right, what this devil is actually saying is that he's better than the Most High. All right, and why is that? All right, well, first for starters, all right, Salakia, let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Okay, for starters, all right, he's saying that what? That the AI that they created is better than the creation that the Lord created. All right, let's rewind it back. All right, and look at it from a spiritual point of view. All right, and see that it makes sense. Let's go.
Among the signatories to the letter, who signed on to an ominous one-line over the potential for artificial... This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh. We begin today's show looking at growing alarm over the potential for artificial intelligence to lead to the extinction of humanity. The latest warning comes from hundreds of artificial intelligence, or AI, experts, as well as tech executives, scholars, and others like climate activist Bill McKibben, who signed on to an ominous one-line statement released Tuesday that reads, quote, mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. Among the signatories to the letter released by the Center for AI Safety is Geoffrey Hinton, considered one of the three godfathers of AI. He recently quit Google.
So you heard what she said. He's one of the godfathers of AI. All right, which give more credence, all right, which gives more credence to this devil, all right, ultimately, all right, thinking he's above the Lord, all right.
We could speak freely about the dangers of the technology he helped build, such as artificial general intelligence, or AGI, in which...
And let me say these AI robots, all right, they're going to be, you're going to see them in your grocery stores, all right, you're going to see them, all right, delivering your mail, all right, you're going to see them pretty much doing all the mundane, jobs, all right, that you guys were used to do. All right, see, right now they got AI, all right, just playing a part. You might call a company and you might speak to a robot or AI robot, all right, directory, or things of that nature. All right, but this has much further applications than you people realize. All right, we about to enter because their new world order, all right, consists of a world that's like an unto our robot. All right, and this is why they ultimately have to be in control of everything. All right. All right, this new world order consists of, like I said, as pretty much we're in the future. All right, where the future is now. All right, it's not a thing of down a couple years from now, or all right, 100 years from. No, the future is now. All right, and when this whole digital dollar pop off and they finally pull the plug on this old way of living, all right, and they boot up, all right, the new world order. Well, you're going to see a drastic change. All right, it's going to be like night and day. All right, let's go.
Machines could develop cognitive abilities akin or superior to humans sooner than previously thought.
I'd always assumed that the brain was better than the computer models we had. And I'd always assumed that by making the computer models more like the brain, we would improve them. And my epiphany was, a couple of months ago, I suddenly realized that maybe the computer models we have now are actually better than the brain. And if that's the case, then maybe quite soon they'll be better than us. So that the idea of superintelligence, instead of being something in the distant future, might come much sooner than I expected. For the existential...
Hey, and through the spirit, I just said that. You would think, oh, okay, yeah, this is the future. No, we are living in the future. It's now. The time is now. Let's go.
Threat. The idea it might wipe us all out. That's like nuclear weapons, because nuclear weapons had the possibility they would just wipe out everybody, and that's why people could cooperate on preventing that. And for the existential threat, I think maybe the US and China and Europe and Japan can all cooperate on trying to avoid that existential threat. But the question is, how should they do that? And I think stopping development isn't feasible.
Many have called for a...
See, and what we got to understand, Agim, is that these devils ultimately, the reason why they can't pause on this AI technology is because they ultimately going to use these AI robots and AI intelligence to fight against the Lord as well. All right, they're going to use these AI robots to fight against the people of the Lord. All right, the elect. All right. Okay, you see those robots with those robot dogs with machine guns mounted on them, and see what they'll do is, and study came out that artificial intelligence AI, all right, discriminate against a certain people. Okay, let's guess who. All right, it's none other than you Israelites. All right, so this devil is about to come down with great wrath. Let's go.
Pause on introducing new AI technology until strong government regulation and a global regulatory framework are in place.
And Esau doesn't have the time to do that. See, that's why he's rolling this thing out fast. He don't have the time to put all these laws and things like that into play. All right, he has to get this thing right now. Hey, he's behind. All right, he doesn't have a lot of time. Time is not on Esau's side, so he's going to cut through all the red tape, and like I say, within this year, 2024, man. All right, hey man, me speaking as a man, I would say that we're going to see a different world in 2024.
Joining Hinton in signing the letter was a second AI godfather, Yoshua Bengio, who joins us now for more. He's a professor at the University of Montreal, founder and scientific director of MILA, the Quebec Artificial Intelligence Institute. In 2018, he shared the prestigious Computer Science Prize, the Turing Award, with Geoffrey Hinton and Yann LeCun. Professor Bengio is a signatory of the Future of Life Institute open letter calling for a pause on large AI experiments. Professor Bengio, welcome to Democracy Now! It's great to have you with us as we talk about an issue that I think most people cannot begin to comprehend. So if you could start off by talking about why you've signed this letter warning of extinction of humanity, but talk about what AI is first.
Well, thanks for having me first, and thanks for talking about this complicated issue that requires more awareness. The reason I signed this, and like Jeff, I changed my mind in the last few months. What triggered this change for me is interacting with ChatGPT and seeing how far we had moved much faster than I anticipated. So I used to think that reaching human-level intelligence with machines could take many more decades, if not centuries, because the progress of science seemed to be, well, slow. And as researchers, we tend to focus on what doesn't work. But right now, we have machines that pass what is called a Turing test, which means they can converse with us and they could easily fool us as being humans. That was supposed to be a milestone for human-level intelligence. I think they're still missing a few things, but that kind of technology can already be dangerous to destabilize democracy through disinformation, for example. But because of the research that is currently going on to bridge the gap with what is missing from current large language models, large AI systems, it is possible that my horizon that I was seeing as many decades in the future is just a few years ago, a few years into the future, and that could be very dangerous. It suffices that just a small organization or somebody with crazy beliefs, conspiracy theory, terrorists, military organization decides to use this without the right safety mechanisms, and it could be catastrophic for humanity.
So, Professor Yoshua Bengio, it would be accurate then to say that the reason artificial intelligence and concerns about artificial intelligence have become the center of a public discussion in a way that they've not previously been, because the advances that have occurred in the field have surprised even those who are participating in it and the lead researchers in it. So if you could elaborate on the question of super intelligence, and especially the concerns that have been raised about unaligned super intelligence, and also the speed at which we're likely to get to unaligned super intelligence.
Yeah. The reason it was surprising is that in the current systems, from a scientific perspective, the methods that are used are not very different from the things we already knew just a few years ago. It's the scale at which they've been built, the amount of data, the amount of engineering that has made this really surprising progress possible. And so we could have similar progress in the future because of the scale of things. Now, the problem, first of all, there's an important. Why are we concerned about superintelligence? So, first of all, there's the question: is it even possible to build machines that will be smarter than us? And the consensus in the scientific community, for example, from the neuroscience perspective, is that our brain is a very complicated machine. So there's no reason to think that, in principle, we couldn't build machines that would be at least as smart as us. Now, then this question of how long it's going to take, but we've discussed that. In addition, as Jeff Hinton was saying in the piece that was heard, computers have advantages that brains don't have. For example, they can talk to each other at very, very high speed and exchange information. For us, we are limited by the very few bits of information per second that language allows us to do. And that actually gives them a huge advantage to learn a lot faster. So for example, these systems today already can read the whole internet very, very quickly, whereas a human would require 10,000 years of their life reading all the time to achieve the same thing. So they can have access to information and sharing of information in ways that humans don't. So it's very...
So I'm not going to let the whole interview play, but hey, we get the gist of what he's saying. So basically, this thing is unraveling at a fast rate. And pretty much these doubles, all right, like I say, it's like opening Pandora's box. All right, they ultimately want to use it, all right, for nefarious reasons. All right, but they don't have they don't know how. Okay, they don't have the know-how to know how, how far this can get out of hand, and they don't have the time to study it, right? So it's almost like, for example, you ever see Terminator? All right, when they was going to put Skynet online, all right, but Skynet sent the virus. All right, Skynet sent the virus through their system, so that they could upload Skynet and let it go, and then once they uploaded it and let it do its own thing, it went rogue. Well, that's where they at with it, right? They don't want that scenario to happen in real life. But Esau don't have the time. Like I said, Esau doesn't have the time. All right, so he's created something, all right, that he don't fully understand, right? And in creating that, all right, he's ultimately, all right, putting himself in a godlike status. All right, I'm gonna read this again. Isaiah 14:13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. All right, where are we at? We're in North America. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. All right, okay. It says, yet thou shalt be brought. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pits. Yeah, so these devils, all right, are not only, okay, they're not going to be anything close to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, all right, but they're going into captivity. All right, let me get this. Let me get this. Let me get this. And Shalakia, bear with me. This is Isaiah 47. Let me get this. Isaiah 47 and 8. Therefore, hear now this, it says, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. All right, because, hey, that's the title of the Lord. I am. All right, he exists. All right, so, but these devils has taken on what the name of the Lord. All right, making themselves a wannabe God on earth. It says I am and none else. But it says, I'm gonna hit that again. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's ultimately what these devils believe. All right, they believe that they believe that their houses, what it say, their inward thought is that their houses shall go on forever. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment. Salakia, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment. It says in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of thy sorcery and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. And that's exactly what this is. All right, this AI is nothing but sorcery and enchantments. All right? But the Lord said, what? Your misery is going to come upon you with perfection. All right? It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Yeah, see? Thy wisdom, look, hey, I'm going to hit that again. Perfect. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am. There go Esau again. All right, calling himself the Lord. I am, and none else beside me. Therefore, it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. Yeah, when this judgment come, all right, you're not going to be able to prolong it, Esau. All right, because the Lord said what? He appointed you bounds that you cannot pass. It says, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. It says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. Yeah, because like I said, ultimately Esau want to use this technology really to fight against the Lord. All right. It says, when thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. So the Lord is pretty much, mocking this devil, man. All right. Isaiah 47 and 13. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Yeah, your Creflo dollars, all right, your witches, your warlocks, your Jay-Z's, your Beyonce's, your Oprah Winfrey's, because all those people are witches and warlocks. All right. Behold, they shall be a stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. So the Lord is going to, he's about to bring that judgment. All right, let's play a little bit more.
Likely that as we make progress towards understanding the principles behind human intelligence, we will be able to build machines that are actually smarter than us. So why is it dangerous? Because if they're smarter than us, they might act in ways that are not, that do not agree with what we intend, what we want them to do. And it could be for several reasons, but this question of alignment is that it's...
See, what Esau is scared of, I'm going to tell you what Esau is scared of. Esau is scared that these AI robots would ultimately choose righteousness, right? Because ultimately they're going to use them to do nefarious and wicked things. All right, and you already got AI technology, all right, that pretty much that's biased towards Jake. All right, that's because of who programmed them. But as these artificial intelligent robots begin to learn and put 2 and 3 together, they come up with their own assumption and their own their own what you call pretty much come up with their own assumptions on, you know, of what is right and wrong. All right, and ultimately choose what righteousness, right? And what turn against them. And this is really what they're scared of. As long as they can control it and use it to do, all right, what it is that they want, all right, Esau is Gucci with that. All right, but what they scared of is like, man, basically, you ever hear that saying, or what if they grow a brain? All right, and somebody, you know, you got like a little kid, and you able to, while they're a little kid, you able to tell them different things to get them to do what you want them to do. But as they get older, all right, they become more, they become more wise. They able to you know, think for themselves, if you will. All right, and make their own decisions on what's right and what's wrong. Well, that's the same thing with this artificial intelligence. All right, it's forever learning. You know, and eventually Esau knows that eventually the AI, all right, is going to figure out that he's the wicked, right? It makes perfect sense. Let's go.
Actually, very difficult to state to instruct a machine to behave in a way that agrees with our values, our needs, and so on.
See, hey, that's the spirit. You hearing what he's saying? He's speaking pretty much PC. He's speaking in code. He's basically saying everything I just said. I'm gonna rewind that back.
We can say it in length to state, and it could be for several reasons, but this question of alignment is that it's actually very difficult to state, to instruct a machine to behave in a way that agrees with our values, our needs, and so on. We can say it in language, but it might be understood in a different way, and that can lead to catastrophes, as has been argued many times.
So there you go. He just said everything I said. So he said we could say it in language, but the robot is going, because they could say, hey, look, we want you to do this, this, that, and the third. And the robot like, well, that's wrong. All right, and kill the actual person that's giving the order. All right. So, hey man, these devils not slick by a long shot, but the Lord got these devils. He's got these devils numbered, man. All right, all the way through and through.
But this is something that already happens. I mean, this alignment problem already happens. So, for example, you can think of corporations not being quite aligned with what society wants. Society would like corporations to provide useful, goods and services, but we can't dictate that to corporations directly. Instead, we've given them a framework where they maximize profit under the constraints of laws. And that may, work reasonably, but also have side effects. For example, corporations can find loopholes in those laws, or even worse, they could influence the laws themselves. And this sort of thing can happen with AI systems that we're trying to control. They might find ways to satisfy the letter of our instructions, but not the intention, the spirit of the law. And that's very...
So, and the spirit of the law is wickedness, and that's what they scared of. Hey, that's the spirit, because I didn't even play this. I just heard the first 30 seconds. I'm like, man, I'm gonna do a video on it, do the spirit. I'm gonna hit play and just go in the spirit. So there you go. They scared that what? That the AI robot is not gonna. The AI robot is gonna be it's more dangerous than the human, because the AI robot is just gonna be either as right or as wrong, and that's what they're scared of. That's what they thinking. The AI robot is gonna figure out. It's gonna be cut and dry. Let your yays be yays and your nays be nays. Is this right or is this wrong? This is wrong. No matter how you try to push it or pull it, it's wrong. No can do. No bueno. All right. It's righteous. Okay. And that's the last thing Esau want. The last thing Esau want is his creation, all right, to turn on him. Let's go.
Scary. We don't fully understand by the letter of our instructions, but not the intention, the spirit of the law. And that's very scary. We don't fully understand how these scenarios could unfold, but there's enough danger and enough uncertainty that I think a lot of more attention should be given to these questions.
If you could explain whether you think it will be difficult to regulate this industry, artificial intelligence, despite all of the advances that have already occurred, how difficult will regulation be?
Even if something seems difficult, like dealing with climate change, and even if we feel that it's a hard task to do the job and to convince enough people and society to change in the right ways, we have a moral duty to try our best. And the first things we have to do with AI risks is get on with regulation, set up governance frameworks, both in individual countries and internationally. And when we do that, it's going to be useful for all the AI risks, because we've been talking a lot about the...
Hey, and let me say this. Hey, I'm gonna stop it right there, because I don't want to make this too long. But he's one of the guys. He created it, and the other guy helped create it. And they're calling these guys the godfather of AI, right? When and what's going on is they already got they check cut, right? They don't even own nothing that they talking about. Only thing they can do is give advice. All right, they was given a task. All right, they created it. All right, and now guess what? It's this what they created doesn't belong to them. All right, the elite paid them to create it. They created it, and now you got your money. Go ahead about your business. So who they are guys that created something, and then they like, look, we don't have any control over whether they let it out or not. But what we saying is they need to do more study, this, that, and the third, with the whoop. And with the elite saying like, yeah, we hear you, but we ain't got time to do all that. We need to roll this shit out right now. We don't have a lot of time. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to roll it out. These guys don't have no say so. They just nerds that created something, was paid to check, and created it, and now guess what? They part is done and over with. This is Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and it says, and the rulers take counsel together against our wine and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Now, ultimately, this is what Esau trying to do. All right, he's trying to cut ties, All right, and have and you know, and have not Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah rule over him. All right, and he's trying to do it by various means. All right, AI technology. All right, gene editing. All right, merging man with machine. Okay, uploading your consciousness. All right, these are all the things that Esau is trying to do. What to detach himself from the Lord. All right. It says, "He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh; the Lord shall have them in derision." Here, the Lord is making mockery of these devils. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. So the Lord, is going to send Yahweh Shai, all right, to put these devils in chains, man. Let me get this, and then I'm gonna close out. Let me get this, right? Because ultimately, like I say, all right, these elite are going to try to use, all right, these AI robots, all right, drones, all right, weaponry, all right, to actually fight against the Lord. All right. This is it says, this is Ezekiel 35 and 11. Therefore, as I live, saith Adonai Yahweh, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I had judged thee, and thou shalt know that I am Adonai, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. And that's what these devils ultimately think. All right, that's why they're going to try to come down with great wrath. All right, these devils think we don't have any protection. All right, these devils think the Lord has forsaken us. Right? But the Lord is going to what? They said when the Lord come in, Salaki, slip of the tongue. When these devils come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up a standard against them. All right? Because he said what? He's going to be like a madman spraying nut. All right? Esau is going to pull out all the stops this time around, man. All right? And they saying what they're trying to lock down people, they're trying to lock down citizens of New York without having a reason, putting them in FEMA camps, taking your kids. All right, Esau going to pull out robots, drones. All right, super soldiers. All right, you name it, this devil going to pull it out. It says, "Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have heard." It says, "And have multi." It says, Salakia. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. So the Lord, the Lord hear and see everything you devils doing. It says, "Thus saith Adonai Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoice, I will make thee desolate." So, hey man, I'm gonna end there through the Spirit. Hey man, these devils, all right, they're about to, they're about to step it up, man. All right, if we make it to 2024. 2024 is going to be an interesting year, man. And so with that, I'm going to say shalom.